Welcome to the third edition of the weekly Black and Gold Show. I am Blake Yount, executive broker with eXp Realty NWA Branch. And if you want to get hold of that brokerage, phone number is down at the bottom of your screen, 866-720-5056. Or if you want to talk to the star of the show, my phone number is 479-363-4331. I would gladly take all your phone calls, questions, concerns about the real estate market here in Northwest Arkansas, help you buy and sell homes, do all that. But if you really want to talk to the magic behind the show, the one that makes it all happen in life and in business, her name is Ashley Yount. She is the absolute gold standard of the Black and Gold, Team Black and Gold. And her name is Ashley Yount, also my wife. Her phone number is 479-325-9348. Give her a call with any of your real estate concerns and needs, or if you just want to chit-chat about life a little bit, she's a much better person, much more fun to talk to, more interesting, more clever, smarter, all of it than I could ever be. So if you really want somebody on your side, in your corner, that's who I recommend. So, but what I want to do today is I want to pause a little bit because we're coming out of a pretty hot summer market. It was another good summer market for us here in Northwest Arkansas. As far as a market goes, it balanced out a little bit. Buyers were able to get some good deals. Sellers are still capitalizing on appreciation. Builders might have had to tighten their belts a little bit, but we'll get into all that as we go. But I wanted to take a pause as we head into the fall and winter market, because in my experience, this is when people typically begin to come up with their theories about how the market is crashing and how things aren't going well, and how buyers have stopped buying and sellers are scared to sell. I don't know why it is. I know we have a seasonal market, but one of my missions is to keep people oriented around the data. What is actually happening? What do the numbers say? There's a little bit of intuition that goes into forecasting, but for the most part, when you have 2-3 years of data that you can look back on and see how things are trending, it tends to give you a much more balanced perspective on what's actually going on. So we're going to go Benton County new construction, Washington County new construction, Benton County resale, which I define as anything that has the brand new shine worn off of it. So anything built prior to 2020 is what I'm calling resale. We're going to do that for both Benton and Washington County, and then we're going to combine the two, and we're going to kind of track the numbers to see the trends that we can identify within those. And you'll see they're very, very obvious and encouraging. And I think rather than having the perspective that everything's too expensive or the sky is falling when we have these two extremes, it kind of leads to some trepidation as a buyer or a seller when you're trying to get in the market. And you really don't have to have that, because at the end of this, you're going to see that we have a very consistent, predictable market. And if you've got good experts on your side, you can really navigate this thing, take advantage, and achieve your goals if it makes sense for you to do so. Okay, let's jump into it. I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but we'll get right into this. I'm sure you've been looking at the numbers here, the Benton County new construction. And what I did was I went back to 2023 and I compared January 1st all the way to September 10th of that year. And then I did the same period for 2024 and for 2025. And so for 2023 new construction, these were homes built in 2022 and 2023. And there was 1,775 of those. Their median price was $363,000. Price per square foot, $192. And then the days on the market were 104. And with new construction, those are always inflated. Normally, a builder will begin to advertise there's not even a house coming up yet. It's just an empty lot. So these big days on market for the new construction doesn't give you a real picture of the general market. I think you have to look at resale to get a handle on days on market. But as you see, as we go through the year here, the number of sales from 2023 to 2024 to 2025, very consistent, 17, almost 1,800 here. A little bit of a fall off in unit count here, but not much. I mean, nothing that's crazy. And then we'll track maybe we'll see if resale is making any of that up, or possibly following the same trend. But it's not like a huge drop off. We didn't fall off the cliff as far as number of units sold. A lot of that has to do with new construction is helping us catch up with the demand that's coming into this market, with 40 to 50 people moving here a day. So, and then we track the price. Everybody loves the price. 363 went to 387 median for a new construction home in 224. Price per square foot took a big jump those years, and then also took another big jump here. So we gone in from 2023 to 2025. We have seen, what is that, a $35,000 increase in the median price of a new construction home, and price per square foot has gone up significantly as well. And this is the average over the couple of years. So from 2023, the percent in change in price per year has averaged out to 4.4% appreciation. Price per square foot to me is very interesting. You go back and forth on whether does that speak to value of the property better than price. People shop with dollars, so I'm tempted to kind of shy away from that. Price per square foot also, builders came in. We have a lot more smaller homes that are going for a higher price per square foot, because the market, we needed smaller homes. We had a bunch of 1,800 plus square foot family homes, which is great. We love that, but we needed smaller, more entry level homes, and we've got some builders in here that are catering to that. So, that can bring the price per square foot up, but the rising price speaks to me to true appreciation in the market. But either way, 5.75% price per square foot per year over the last couple years in Benton County. Pretty awesome, pretty incredible. So then we go to Washington County, new construction, and you see the sales are much less, but they are also very consistent, even more so in terms of number. Price is a bit lower, and the appreciation is a little bit lower. So that tells me that the Washington County market, powered by the university, is probably not more stable, but more predictable. Walmart is doing huge things in Benton County, as we all know, so that can cause some spikes and dips and things like that, but the overall trend is going up much more quickly than most of the nation, and definitely more quickly than Washington County. But so if you bought in 2023 and you're looking at this here, 2.65% appreciation per year. So that's kind of normal real estate stuff. I think 3% is what you generally figure. If you're looking over like a 10 to 20 year track, you're going to figure 3% appreciation in real estate. So the years where we were having 20% and then 20% again and then 15%, that was abnormal, and that has come down even in super hot markets like Benton County, Bentonville, things like that. It'd be super interesting to get into each and every town. Like I know Farmington, their appreciation is something like up over 8%, whereas Prairie Grove here looks more like this over the same time period. So I didn't look at all of it. I could spend weeks doing it. I actually enjoy it, but the different towns have their own markets, of course, but to keep it kind of high level at the counties, this is what we're looking at. So the median price of a new construction home in 2023 was $342,000, and that's gone up to $361 in Washington County. And the price per square foot stayed level for 2 years, but now we're at $206 here in 2025. So took a little bit of a jump, and then the days on market again, new construction, it's falling like it did in Benton County, but it's really difficult. Like I say, some builders will put them on the market even before there's a slab poured. Others will wait till they're totally built. So it's hard to read too much into that data. But either way, you see the trend is moving up. We are in an appreciating, growing market, which is good. And let's stay in Washington County and get into the resale stuff. And this resale, I will focus more in on days on market, a lot more, because this in 2023, it tells you things were coming on the market, getting an offer, and closing at the median rate of 42 days. So usually it takes 30 days to close, so you're getting offers in 1 to 2 weeks here, probably 1.5 to 2.5 weeks here, and we're back to 1 to 2 weeks here. So 1 to 2 weeks on a properly priced resale home, something built before 2020. If you're a seller out there and you put your home on the market in Washington County, if you're well priced, well positioned in the market, you should have an acceptable offer between 1 and 3 weeks. We'll give you that leeway, 1 and 3 weeks. So, and as you look here on the sales, the number of sales has stayed very consistent with these resale homes. I think I forgot to mention these are all on an acre or less. I did not include acreages in my data, but don't sue me, I guess, for not saying that up front. But anyway, the number of sales, 11, almost 1,200, all 3 years. The price, $310 up to $328. The median price of a resale home here in Washington County. And then the price per square foot, this one is interesting. It's gone up 3.75% 2 years, or the 2-year average, compared to the actual price of 2.75. So again, some smaller homes can account for the percentage difference, but pushing that $200 a square foot median for resale homes, to me, is pretty significant. Once you break through that barrier, that speaks to significant growth and is more in line with what new construction is getting, which eventually will be what resale is getting as well. So that's a trend to watch for sure. But both resale and new construction in Washington County appreciating somewhere around that 3% mark, I think, is the takeaway from that. So we move into Benton County resale, and again, number of sales very, very consistent, has even gone up. Okay, so that's a little bit different from the new construction, where we saw units kind of come down a little bit. Resale making up about half the difference there. So unit year over year, we'll see that. We'll throw it all in the pool here soon, and we'll see just how stable everything is. But prices on resale in Benton County gone from $335 in 2023 to $362 now. More of a normal appreciation rate at 3.7%. Price per square foot, pretty big jump, from $187 up to $285, and you see the trend bounced all the way up. And the days on market, the same thing. So again, here between 3 and 4%, 3 and 5%, Benton County resale looking pretty good as far as appreciation goes. And as you see, it's not crazy outlandish numbers. This is normal real estate. This is how real estate performs in good times. So let's keep going here, staying in Benton County. We throw it all together, new construction and resale. And again, 4,000 sales, 4,000 sales, 4,000 sales, 3 years in a row, coming off of 2020, 21, 2022, where things were booming and crazy. Everybody was waiting for that sharp drop. Did not happen. We had some quarterly fluctuation, which is to be expected, but we are now into our 3rd year after the boom, and we have kind of leveled off, and we are appreciating at a very good rate, and the sales have stayed stable. To me, this speaks to a very healthy market here in Northwest Arkansas. You can see the price of Benton County new construction and resale included has gone from $350 in 2023 to $384,000 now, and the corresponding price per square foot has also gone up. Days on market altogether, so pretty normal stuff with everything combined. that's pretty quick turnaround in real estate. If you can get your home on the market and sold in 60 days or less, very, very fast moving. It allows you to be more liquid than normal if you're in real estate. A lot of times, things can be taking 4 to 6 months to sell. But that hasn't been the case here in Northwest Arkansas for a long time. If you want to sell, kind of the world is at your fingertips as long as you're willing to position it correctly. But Benton County altogether, between 4 and 5% growth, pretty awesome. Looks like it might continue that way. Washington County, we'll jump into that again. 2,000 sales, 2,200 sales, 2,200 sales. Very stable. Same story here, 325 up to 350. Price per square foot has gone from 193 to 204. Little slower rate of growth, between 3 and 4%. But you know what? Same story here. If it's for sale, days on market in Washington County, you have it positioned correctly, you are going to get an offer and you're going to make a deal. So what does all this tell you? To me, I'm very encouraged by all of this data. I like these things. I like that we're very stable. The number of sales are very stable, very predictable. That's super exciting. We're not getting wild fluctuations and buyers coming on and off. And we do have, when interest rate news isn't so good, there's a little bit of a pullback. But at the same time, there hasn't been any crazy moves in the interest rate front. So people have kind of got used to where things are. And because our market is stable, it allows people to make decisions over a period of 3, 6, 9, 12 months instead of what we had prior to 2023, which was kind of a bum rush, but people were okay with it because they knew interest rates were low and they were going to get a pretty decent deal. And that's when they started to tick up into the 6s and things like that. And that pulled it back a little bit with the fluctuation. But for the most part, we were able to balance out and return to stability really quickly, and the numbers bear that out. So very exciting. Secondly, we are still in a growing market. All of those numbers were pluses. And I think with the exception of one little blip maybe in the new construction, prices grew year after year. So, but either way, when you take in all of the years combined, definitely on the plus side, and it's not at an insane 10 to 20% rate of growth as far as prices and price per square foot. It was between 2.5% and 5%, which is a very healthy growth trend in real estate, and it's something that you can kind of rely on and predict. Again, you can have the ups and downs inside of that, but for the most part, we're in a growing market and a stable market, which says that inventory has kind of caught up to buyer demand, but there is still a great deal of buyer demand in this market. That's what growth means, especially when a lot of markets in this country are not growing. They are not stable. They're really struggling. So we are very fortunate to be in this market. If you're buying or selling, or if you're an agent or anybody associated with the real estate market here in Northwest Arkansas is in a pretty good position. So normal appreciation, we kind of already hit on that. Balanced and competitive. So I really like this market because it's not a huge panicked rush for buyers. They have a little bit of time. They can find the house, the property they truly love and want, and they can work themselves a deal. Now, you're not going to probably steal anything that even if you're looking at investments, you're not going to get a steal. You might find a deal, but you're not going to get a steal on the market. I don't think. You can find good deals if you take a long-term look, but it's really hard to just kind of go in and get yourself a real sweetheart deal unless it's off market, somebody's doing a favor, something like that. It's very balanced, very competitive. If you put your property for sale right in the river of where the market is, you're going to find that buyers are going to want to work with you a little bit, but buyers for the most part are going to take what's in front of them and not overreach too much. Which leads to number 5, there is abundant opportunity when you have a predictable market like we've gone into, a more balanced and stable market like we've gone into. There's great opportunity to look at maybe investments for the next 10-year stretch. Real estate, unless you're finding fix and flips, should not be something that you plan on turning around and making a good chunk of money off of in 2 to 3 years. It's supposed to be a 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan where along the way maybe it's producing some income for you. Maybe at a few years down the road it flips and it's giving you true cash flow after all expenses are included. But there are abundant opportunities to invest in real estate. And also, you can, as just a normal family purchase, you purchase your home, and if you're going to be in it for about 5 years, you can expect that a rate of growth is going to be pretty good, so that when 5 years later, when you go to sell, you're not losing money on it. More than likely, it's possible. Anything's possible. But if we're going to appreciate like a normal market between 2.5% to 5%. Your 5-year plan with real estate is looking pretty good. So that's if you're purchasing a family home. If you're buying a first home, you can get in. There's some smaller homes available around the market for $250 to $300. The median price for a home here, if we go back in Washington County, is $350. In Benton County, it's $384. Okay, so we're still way under the national average when it comes to getting started. I know it's hard to believe and it's difficult to wrap our minds around because things have become more expensive quickly. However, all things considered, we are in a very good, encouraging spot. And if you are just getting in the market and now they have these smaller homes available, maybe you're a first-time home buyer, it's you and one other person, or just you by yourself, haven't started a family yet, you can buy a small home, expect it to appreciate, and then maybe in a few years you've got some equity to work with that you can pull out, maybe invest in another home. There's all kinds of things that you might be able to do down the road while you're getting your feet under you and you're going. And that is what a stable, growing, balanced market leads to, is wonderful long-term opportunity for you to live a kind of a balanced life with a reasonable growth plan going forward. So those are my key takeaways, and I will cut you loose from here. I just want you to remember today that I bring you this information so that as the summer cools down and the fall and winter begin, you don't have, if you're looking at getting into the market, either as a buyer or a seller, you don't hear all the chatter and the noise about how, oh, it's not a good time to sell. Oh, it's not a good time to buy. Like, it's all crazy. We are in a good, stable, growing market. I have been saying this for years now that I've been in this business, listening to people predict gloom and doom all over this market, and all it's done is grow. All it's done is help people reach goals. And now is no different. It's just not as accelerated. So in my opinion, now is an even better time to get in this Northwest Arkansas market, because we can identify trends, and we're not saying, well, this is outlandish, this can't last. We're saying, okay, this is stable, this is normal, this is balanced. So have no fear, my friends. Get out there and do some real estate if the time is right for you. And hey, if you're going to do it, I would really appreciate if Team Black and Gold is who you turn to. Once again, my name is Blake, Executive Broker, 479-363-4331. Or if you're looking for the best possible service, highest class of person you can possibly reach in this market for real estate services, her name's Ashley Young, 479-325-9348. I highly encourage you give her a call, and let's work something out. Let's reach a goal. Let's get something great done and plan for you and your family and your beautiful, bright future here in Northwest Arkansas. All right. Once again, Blake Young for Team Black and Gold at EXP, and I am out of here. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.